growth and the maturity of the immigrant community and the Latino community, which is the one I do the most um, reaching out to. And obviously, this is a different Las Vegas than the one I came to Las Vegas in 1980. I was married like 3 years. I was 27, 26. That's the first time, but none of this was here. It was only the old part.
Oh yeah.
They had a Hilton there and a couple other hotels. It was like the Sands and that sort of.
And you're like, where is the Sands now?
Yeah, I don't know wherever that other. I have to go back and find that old part. And so it's a pleasure to be here. And this time I'm here for the Hillary Clinton campaign. I'm happy to be back, and I'll be back on the night of the 18th because I want to do as much talking and getting the vote out. And obviously on the 20th, you guys let me know what the caucus rules are. But if it's anything like Iowa and I can go into a caucus room, I want to be where all those Latinos and Latinas from the culinary are going to go. I want to be there so I can say, hi guys, it's me. Remember your friend who's always been around? And so that's why I'm here. Thanks.
Well, we're grateful for you to be here. I know we have some students here. We really want to open up for any questions
Yes.
you only have for the congressman. He's obviously in the know with a lot of these issues, and we're real grateful for you being here. We know you're on the stump for Hillary, and she has a lot of propositions that she's putting up there. And so, if you guys have any questions on that, let's shoot.
Please.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
I think the biggest question in the conversation we were having while we were enjoying delicious tacos.
They were.
They were
El
delicious.
Taco Gordo.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's skinny.
I think the biggest conversation is reiterating what you said earlier as to what made you endorse Secretary Clinton, considering it was less than 2 months ago when we were having the conversation.
Yeah. Well, it took a while because we wanted to make sure that we maximized our endorsement, not for me personally, but for the campaign and for the next president of the United States. So it's not like I'm negotiating for me. I don't need an ambassadorship or a cabinet position. That's not what we're talking about. But what would her campaign and what would her commitment be? And I just thought that my experience, I wanted to be what realistic thing. Because she has wonderful positions already on so many of the immigrant things. So I made a decision, 2 things. Number one, I don't know, last summer, I was on a Larry King program, and I figured the only people watching it was like 2 or 3 people. And we were talking, and I said, Bernie Sanders? I said, I know he's been absent from our fight and from our struggle. I don't even know if he likes immigrants, I said to Larry King. And that started, a lot of people, that remark was, there was an echo chamber because he was campaigning all over the country and he never mentions Latinos, he never mentions immigrants. Well, after I said that, obviously he incorporated us into his speech. But it spoke to me about the absence of our presence. Look, a lot of the fight for social justice, it's a civil rights movement for our immigrant community. There's 750,000 dreamers. I remember when Senator Lugar and Senator Dick Durbin sent a letter to the president in 2011 saying, it's time, Mr. President, to stop deporting dreamers and to use your executive authority. You could say, well, Luis, that was only 2. Yeah, it was a Republican and a Democrat. It was important. But then, like 2 months later, Senator Reid, 21 other senators signed a letter to the president saying, stop the deportation of the dreamers. That was in 2011. Now, much happened between then and the official announcement a year later. But I thought that was an important time. So I asked myself, he was in the Senate. He was there with us. He's always been signed. So I said, what's the one thing I asked him? We asked him to support the 2007 Kennedy Plan for Immigration Reform, a plan that was supported by the activist community. And he voted against it. And he was absent. You can be absent Pero por favor, no me diga a mí que tú eres más progresista que yo. And you have been absent from the most important social issue of activism in our community, which is 750,000 people and 11 million that we want to stop their deportation and stop their separation and bring immigration reform. So I looked at it and I said to myself, number one, I was like Hillary. I'll be very honest with you. For me, I have two daughters. One's 37 and the other one's 26. I want a woman to be president of the United States. I want to continue to break barriers. I think it's important. And we know, especially for Latinas, that earn 57 cents on the dollar for what a white male earns in the United States of America. I did a poll, right? And I asked Latinos, well, do you believe the LGBT community? We didn't do too bad. 65% said, yeah, we should support the LGBT community. I said, how about Planned Parenthood and women's right to choose? 65%. You know when it went up to 90%? Debe una mujer ganar igual que un hombre en su trabajo? And all the men said, yes, we believe that that's true. I mean, that's a very important thing. And so breaking all kind of glass ceilings in our society, I think are important. I look at the women in the Senate. I see how tough it is for them to get a senior lead. You can look right now, a senior leadership position in anything. And I think she's competent. She's committed. She can win the general election. And I'm going to vote for somebody. I'm going to vote for her. I can't wait to vote for her in March. I'm going to proudly go vote for her. And as a super delegate, I've committed myself to voting for her at the convention. And Soraya Gutierrez, my wife, is leading the delegate state. We don't do caucuses in Illinois. You actually have to show up, and you have all day from 6 in the morning to 7 in the evening, and you have 3 weeks before that to vote early at any library that any library in your neighborhood that you can go and vote. So I'm going to work really hard. So that's why, look, there's an absence. And I look, as the campaign has flushed itself out, I know I made the right decision. I know this, look, there is in America, so if you ask people, do you think you did better than your parents? I would have to say yes. My mom went to 6th grade. My dad graduated 30 from high school, and that was after, edad adulto. So I would say yes. But when you ask yourself, do you believe your children are going to do better? No. There's a lot of skepticism that my generation, and that my children, much less my grandson Luisito, who's 12, is going to do better than his parents. So, there is a sense that the game is rigged and that people aren't able to get, but I don't want to make promises. Look, there is not going to be free college for everybody. It's not going to happen. And do I think that we should move towards a situation in which everybody that needs help gets the kind of help? That we don't have the kind of that. Let me tell you what's happened during the last 5 years. What have we done? We've increased the Pell Grant. Dreamers don't know about that because they don't qualify for it. But if you did, you'd see there have been increase. That's for low and moderate income. Where's the proposal been in the Senate or in the House for free? Please show me the proposal for everybody gets to go to college for free. Show it to me. I haven't seen it. Nobody's introduced it. The only time I've seen it is during this campaign. And what's the other thing we were able to do? And the only way we were able to do it is through executive action, because the Republicans would not even think about it, where President Barack Obama ordered the Department of Education to restructure how it is students pay their loans. He said 2 things. No one would pay more than 10% of their income. And after 20 years, regardless of your debt, it's over. So there's some feeding into that, because it's real. And, everybody gets really, my kids, I make $174,000. You can look it up, what's Congressman make, right? No, right? My wife makes another $60,000. She works part-time, right? Okay, we make $230,000 a year. Do I need the government to send my kids to a public institution, a public college, like the state of Illinois? No, I don't. You can check what the tuition is. Are there people that do need that? Yes, our 2 school teachers teaching in public schools, whether it's here or in Phoenix or in LA or in Chicago or New York, are they able to send their kids to school without incurring it? No, they need help. So let's start talking about who really needs help instead of just saying everybody's gonna go, because I don't think Donald Trump needs us to pay for his kids to go to college. What people need is help, and I understand that the game is rigged. So let's talk about what we can really do, because if the last 5 years have been any example, I've given you 2 specific examples of what we were able to do, and nobody has ever. So I want realistic solutions. I don't want after the campaign for everybody to say, I'm not going to vote, because all those politicians do is make us promises, and then they don't keep them. Ready? We want to make promises that we believe are unrealistic, that can't be met, because we have a campaign. I understand that young people are saying, look, because I get them as interns in my office. The best program we have as an intern, as an employee of any congressman or any senator is what? We pay down up to $8,300 a year in your student. So if you work for me, you don't ever get a bill. I've had people work for me for 6, 7 years, come and join my office with $45,000, $50,000 in debt and walk away sin deber un solo centavo. So I believe there should be program where you go to work, and part of your work is there's an incentive so that you don't get, because it could be a life-changing to have to pay that debt, and universities continue to go up, and the cost. But I don't think people go to Berkeley. I don't think people go to University of Michigan. I don't think they go to state universities. Who's going to pay for it? You could say that we're going to pass legislation. You've seen what the budgets are like, and you've seen what we've been able to do. So I want a realistic approach to what we're doing.
Can I ask a follow-up?
Sure.